What and away we go.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Untitled
Yo.
Sickos Project, where critics have compared us to a podcast you might listen to. I'm Car Sausage, representing the 616. Who are you, other people?
Man, I represent the 604, man. You don't come on our tough, man. We the 604, man.
So, my name is Jaden, and I'm from the Bay Area, and I am a Niner fan who is sick about a Niner fan.
So grass is green. Got it.
Yep, grass is green, sky is blue. I am Nick Man, and I represent the 702 here in Vegas. And I'm also a Chicago sports fan, because Gene's told me to be a Chicago sports fan, and that's why I am a Vegas and a Chicago sports fan.
Bro, you listen to Pants?
Yes, Gene's told me what I should be in life, and Gene's is why I have a full-grown beard at 19.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Or in this case, I should have said sperm. That is what dictated all of this.
DNA.
Yeah,
No,
DNA. There we go, DNA.
DNA, there we go.
See, I thought you had a magical pair of talking pants like this was Blue's Clues or some shit.
We made a joke in the past. We did make a joke about in the past that I would be the Quagmire toilet. So who knows? Maybe a toilet could use some talking jeans.
And to be fair, I could use some talking jeans too. It gives me someone to talk to at work when I'm all alone. Anyways, so last week was the NHL trade deadline. Thus, we now start the NFL season. The 2024 calendar year is officially underway, and just like I had envisioned, every GM snorts crack on Sunday at midnight, and all the deals get done. To follow up on last week's welcome mat, Russell Wilson signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the vet minimum with a $1.2 million cap hit. I believe Kenny Pickett has a higher cap hit than Russell Wilson. Kenny Pickett just got sent away to Philadelphia because he apparently can't handle being benched like a big boy because he is shit at football. Sorry, Kenny Pickett. Wish it would have worked better, but things ain't the way it is. As for Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh can invest heavily in every other category. They should be a good team. This should be a really fun Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Yeah, it should be a really exciting 9-8 finish.
9-7-1. Come on, 9-7-1. You're cutting them short way too much.
My bad. Whoa.
9-7-1. Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves. 9-7-1.
Yeah, I do want to say regarding Kenny Pickett, because that kind of came out of nowhere, and then once immediately it happened, it's like, okay, you know what? It does make sense, given there were some signs here that, something was going to happen with Kenny Pickett, because, apparently there were rumors. It was never confirmed, but I think people can imagine that it's probably true now, that, like, last season after Mason Rudolph was given the start in the playoff game, once Pickett got healthy, that Kenny wasn't happy about it, and obviously it seems that Kenny was initially okay with, having some competition come in, given Rudolph wasn't going to be around anymore. But once that competition was Russell Wilson, Kenny Pickett went to the front office and said, "That don't work for me, brother."
And he still has yet to play. I still think it's so funny how little Kenny Pickett has actually moved in his life. He's gone from South Jersey to Pittsburgh for college to Pittsburgh for NFL football, and now he's in Philadelphia. To me, that's like, did you really even go anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, I found this hilarious stat regarding Russell Wilson and Kenny Pickett that for as awful and as infamous as the season was for Russell Wilson had more passing touchdowns in 2022 than Kenny Pickett has had in 2 total seasons combined.
Wow. I saw an interesting stat from Barry McCockiner, even though I don't like him very much. It was LaDainian Tomlinson and some other running back had more passing touchdowns than Kenny Pickett.
We're
Jesus
thinking of,
Christ.
Damn.
yeah, I mean, all I'll say is, look, we've had some pretty bad predictions in the past. We've also had some good predictions, but all I can say is at least our prediction wasn't like LaShawn McCoy saying that Kenny Pickett was going to be in the same... Kenny Pickett and Joe Burrow were going to be the same damn quarterback.
Bruh.
Fucking silly. You know what? Another thing I should add about Kenny Pickett being traded. The 2022 draft class for quarterbacks is really kind of fucky-wucky. Kenny Pickett got traded. Matt Corral sucks. Desmond Ritter got traded. Bailey Zappi, the backup. Malik Willis didn't develop into backup. Sam Howell proved so many things, and he's now the Seahawk. And guess who the best quarterback of that class is?
I know.
I mean-
It's your mom.
Yeah. Well, he's a quarterback who was drafted the last fucking pick of the entire draft. Imagine the best quarterback of the draft class is Mr. fucking Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant.
I still think he should have gone 3rd round.
He should. This guy there, like, the thing when I look back, from what I remember the most from the draft class, right, was that everybody said this wasn't a good draft class whatsoever, right? They said it was a very weak. Like, the amount of quarterbacks that were shuffled around that could have been, in the top 10, we had Matt Corral, Malik Willis. Like, those guys are going to be out of the league. Matt Corral is out of the league. He's in the UFL. And Malik Willis
he's in the UFL now.
is on the doorstep of being out of the NFL. Like, the NFL tried to hype up this class. We all knew how bad it was. We all knew that these guys were incredibly raw. We're going to take time to develop into actual starting quarterbacks. It wasn't going to happen overnight, and again, where you go kind of really matters, and all of them became whiffs at the NFL level.
I mean, the thing that really stands out from the whole drafting process regarding that quarterback class is how Malik Willis was projected top 10 and he fell all the way to round 3.
Yeah, we thought it, like he killed somebody's dog, but no, he was just bad.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. And honestly, 2022 quarterback draft class should be very lucky that Brock Purdy exists, or else it would be on the same level of a quarterback draft class like 2013.
Oh God, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
But when the best quarterback to come out of that is Geno Smith, you have serious problems.
Like, that's just the crazy part. There's just, again, we could never be, like, being an NFL GM is such a hard task to do. Because you want to make sure you hit on all your draft. You want to hit on the key positions And even then, you'd think at least one of these, like usually every NFL draft, tends to have at least 2 guys become at least quality starting quarterbacks. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. And you know what? That's just the way it is.
Anyway, I think some stuff happened this week, I was gonna say something funny, but then I realized I had a boring week at work, actually. Fuck.
Yeah, it happens.
I was gonna say something real funny, here's something I can say. I got to play Fall Guys at work today. That was cool.
What?
Yeah, my work has an esports room, so I get to pretend I'm an athlete for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, regarding stuff that's happened this week, I think there's something that our thumbnail in particular really hints at. That something truly game-changing happened this week.
What happened, Spencer? You want to tell us?
You know what? I'll talk about this. Free agency happened, and our beloved Fat Dumpy is no longer with us here in Minnesota. It has moved on to Atlanta, where they have basically turned his chains into a meme that is already getting stale. They called him Kirk Chains, which, no, it's Kirko Chains, you fucking idiot. Do not disrespect my dog. But yeah, the dumper moves on. 4 years, $180 million, which, while I am very sad to see a quarterback of Cousins' caliber leave Minnesota, I am very glad we did not pay that for a 36-year-old coming off of a Achilles injury. Meanwhile, it seemed like Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah and Nick Caserio had a lot of talks in place this week, because a lot of Minnesota's free agents went to Houston. A lot of Houston's free agents went to Minnesota, and there was a significant trade earlier today between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. All in all, let me just give a quick beat down, so what all went down between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. So, in short, between everything that happened between these two teams, the Minnesota Vikings got linebacker Jonathan Grenard, linebacker Blake Cashman, the 23rd overall pick, the 232nd overall pick. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans get Daniil Hunter, the 42nd overall pick, the 188th pick, and the second-round pick in 2025. Other significant moves for the Minnesota Vikings, including our quarterback of the futures, the God Emperor quarterback of the United States, folks, Sam Darnold, 1 year, $10 million. We also got Andrew Van Ginkel on a sweetheart deal, very cheap, and probably the most controversial signing in the North. The Vikings make a move for Aaron Jones, 1 year, $7 million. When I say that Packers fans felt like they were in hell. They felt like they were in hell, man.
Yeah, there were some very hilarious reactions when that got announced.
I mean, y'all got Josh Jacobs. What y'all whining about, Packers?
I mean, it's funny. I mean, I think it was pretty. I mean, I will say this. I will get to it in a bit, but like, it was pretty funny that there was like a 2-hour span where like Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones were the best running back duo in the league, and then the news drops that, yeah, the Packers and Jones couldn't reach a deal, so they're moving on. And Packers fans, I just see Tom Grossi's tweet, and it's like, oh god. Oh,
I
no.
knew the second they made that cut that Aaron Jones was headed to the Vikings. Because for some reason, when a Packer gets mad at the front office, whether that's Brian Gutekunst or Mark Murphy, they always go to Minnesota. Like, it's pretty much a 50-50 chance. Although I will say, Aaron is actually getting a lot more invested in the Minnesota culture than a lot of previous Packers turned Vikings. Like, I see you doing the skull chant at your introduction conference. You know, like, none of the others did that. I see you.
I mean, I mean, that was, I'm sure, like, the moment that happened, you could see a part of Packers fans everywhere lose a bit of sanity.
Oh yeah, he did. They certainly were called it.
Yeah, not something I can complain about, by the way. Not something I will ever complain about.
Yeah.
You know, you need a good amount of salt to make a nice cheese, and evidently the cheese is going to be very good this year with how salty Packers fans are.
Well, they're gonna have a lot of cheese and wine, am I right? Cheese and wine.
Anyway, I'm sure there were other teams that had free agency stuff go on.
Yeah, before we get to probably my team, I do just want to say regarding Vikings and the Falcons and like how this affects both teams in terms of Kirk Cousins, because obviously this changes a lot now that Kirk Cousins is now in Atlanta, and the Vikings, do have the Darnold, but I think it's very clear that Sam Darnold will be a transitionary quarterback.
He's gonna be trans? Holy shit!
Yeah, I know, he's gonna be trans. How about that?
Base.
But, I mean, well, you're paying him. You're paying him $10 million. You're paying him $10 million. You're gonna have him at least start one game, and then, you know, depending on how whoever your rookie is, because let's be real, the Vikings are absolutely drafting a quarterback in this draft class.
Oh yeah.
Whoever your rookie is will get some time, and depending on how progress is and how Darnold does out there, it'll be interesting to see what the Vikings do here, because a lot of interesting names linked to the Vikings now in terms of who they get. I mean, I know there's a certain Michigan guy linked to them.
Personally, I like that. Personally, I like a guy quarterback who can be a bit of a quarter quack, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. I've also heard rumors, though. I have heard rumors about the Vikings possibly making a move for Drake May. I've heard rumors about that going around right now, so I don't know if that will actually happen, but yeah, Vikings are gonna have a very interesting next month and a half for sure. And then regarding the Falcons here, because obviously Falcons, yeah, you really it's nice that you have an actual quarterback now in Kirk Cousins. Even if he is coming off an injury, he is a much better improvement, a serious improvement over Desmond Ridder, who has now had his bags packed and sent all the way to Arizona. Yeah, the Falcons are in a very interesting spot, because on one hand, good lord, y'all overpaid the hell out of Kirk here, but on the other hand, well, you at least have someone who can throw the ball now, because literally the most notable thing, I feel like the first thing people talked about in terms of Kirk Cousins' press conference is Kyle Pitts telling him, I just want targets every game, you know?
Well, over and you know, also of note, the Atlanta Falcons are now under investigation for tampering.
Yeah. Not the only team to be under investigation, but they are under investigation.
That's just wild.
Yeah, if I got a conclusion from all of this, my main conclusion is Desmond Ritter, get ready to learn UFL, buddy.
Yeah. That's, Ritter's gonna have to soon. Because especially these are not like first round guys that when you become a first, you know, with that pedigree of that first round quarterback, right?
Yeah, he is not a first rounder.
He's not. Because like when you're a first rounder, your pay, the pay that you get sets you for life. And Ritter's not going to have that.
I mean, shoot, he's barely got Texas Roadhouse money.
Yeah, he's making let's see, he's making $1 million a year, which goes through 2025. However, once that runs out, yeah, that's gonna be don't be surprised if The Rock's at his door real soon.
And it's not about you know, fucking Cody Rhodes' dog.
Yeah, telling your bitch ass dog. I had to make that video, okay? That was some good content right there.
That was good content. I just thought it was funny that Google was like, "What did you think of this video? Here's 24 cents."
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was I love that I love when I opened up the messages and that's what I ended up seeing from that. Yeah. Things going on in the background, just letting you know if it wasn't obvious enough. But yeah, that was pretty
That was
funny.
funny.
Yeah. Anyways, other stuff. Plenty of other things happened in this free agency
Like
so far.
a guy whose name rhymes with Baekwan Sarkley.
Yeah.
Yep. Stephen Cope, Giants fans. Stephen Cope.
Yeah.
He's legal now.
That, I mean, here's the thing, right? Remember with all the running backs, the whole controversy behind that with the running backs and everything? Right? With how running backs weren't getting their fair share. And to see the moves that took place, to see the fact that there's a message being sent, and especially in the world of, hey, rivals, right? You know, what's one thing that was made a huge example of was like players are going to win to rival teams. Like the Giants had all the time in the world to renew a contract with Saquon Barkley. The Giants had every chance to extend the guy who I believe was their entire offense for the past, I don't know, the last season. I felt like the biggest reason,
Ever since Eli Manning left.
the biggest reason why I felt like they made the playoffs was because of Saquon's ability. It wasn't Daniel Jones. It was Saquon Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
And
guess what? The Giants didn't even offer him a contract.
Bruh.
if that ain't the most damningest thing ever.
Yeah, anyway, derp, 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 derpity, derp, derp, derp.
Derp, yep.
Yeah.
It's a certified derp moment.
Yeah. It's so like I'm blown away just by the sheer stupidity of this move. It's you don't even offer him a contract? Excuse me?
And I love how Tiki Barber is getting mad at Saquon. Like, how could you fucking do this? How could you, like, like just doing the usual stuff, and Saquon just fucking claps back like, buddy, you are the last person who should be talking here.
My favorite was when Tiki was all like, "Oh, you're dead to me. You're fucking dead to me."
Yeah, it's like they're saying shit like, you're dead to me, and it's like, it's literally like the freaking Eric Andre shooting the guy, like the, that meme, the freaking...
Who killed Hannibal?
That's what it's... Yeah, who killed Hannibal? It's like the Giants don't give him a contract, and it's like, why would Saquon leave us?
Insane, right?
I understand the Giants have plenty of issues to address and all that. I understand that some sacrifices will need to get made, but good lord, and hindsight obviously helps here, but you really should have just franchise tagged Daniel Jones and given Saquon his contract when you really, truly felt like it was time.
And to be honest, hot take, Daniel Jones felt like the running back sometimes.
I think Daniel Jones is fast. I think that's all that, that's the only quality I feel.
And
like
even when he
has.
runs, he somehow manages to dirt by tripping over himself on a wide open field.
Mm-hmm. Like, the thing with Saquon Barkley, he has all the right in the world to go where he wants to go. He's got every damn right to go to the rival team.
Especially given that he played at Penn State, and there's a lot of, let's just say a lot of Penn State fans are in Philly.
We don't hold that against Penn State fans.
I do not.
Actually, maybe we do.
Yeah, maybe we do.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do at the end of the day?
I think we're gonna talk about the Chicago Bears next.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
The Bears.
Yeah, it is time to talk about the Bulls master plan. It is time to talk about a process that felt a little slow at times, but in the past day or so has really picked up steam.
King
And
Poles
there's guys
does
who
it
have left.
again.
There's guys who have left, but there's also definitely guys who have been brought in for reinforcements, and obviously still big question that has not been answered that I will talk about in a bit. However, I will talk about the guys who have left Chicago first, and really the two notable ones in terms of, well, first off, let's talk about the biggest one. Nathan Peterman is no longer on the Chicago Bears.
No!
It's Jover.
I know.
He
No.
has joined the
Peterman.
New Orleans Saints, and this is my Joker arc. It is over. You're gonna be fucked. This is what happens when. God damn it! This is what happens when you don't trust the memes. You don't trust the memes, and we lose out on Nathan Peterman. This is what happens.
No.
Give me use on the Peter memes.
Clearly,
The Peter memes are.
Oh, what are we gonna do without Nathan Peterman, man? I felt like he's like the only reason why I watched the Bears, and they just don't even sign him. He's just not there. Like, bro, like that's the biggest fumbling of the bag. How do you not get Nathan Peterman? It's not possible.
Jover. It's Jover. It's oh god. Now Nathan Peterman's gonna be. Hey, perhaps Nathan Peterman could be quarterback 2 on the Saints now. Maybe quarterback 1 if Derek Carr shits himself enough.
considering it's Derek Carr, I could see it happening.
Would be hilarious. Would fit the memes well.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, regarding guys who have left the Bears, a pretty notable one, Darnell Mooney, as expected by many, was not going to be returning to the Bears. He has signed a 3-year, $39 million deal with the Atlanta Falcons, which makes some sense given Ryan Pace, our former GM, is a part of the Falcons front office. And Darnell Mooney clearly had a good relationship with Pace, so you know what? Makes sense why he'd go to the Falcons. And I mean, I hope Mooney does well in Atlanta, even if it didn't end well here in Chicago. He's a productive receiver. He can still be a good wide receiver 3, possibly wide receiver 2, but honestly, good for Mooney getting the bag. Yeah, so Falcons get their guy, or get one of their receivers, given that was not the only receiver they got.
Yeah, Mooney gets his money.
Yep, Mooney gets his money. His last name is Money, spelled with 2 O's. And another guy who got the bag, Justin Jones, 3 years, $31.1 million with the Arizona Cardinals. Good for him. He's a quality defensive player to have. Not really not someone who will light the world on fire, but he's a good guy to have around in terms of, being productive on defense. And for a Cardinals team that, coached by a defensive-minded head coach, I think he's going to a good situation in terms of, getting good, where he can get, good production and all that, and, make good value of his work. But shout out Justin Jones for getting the bag. Now, as for some guys who have come to the Bears, who are now a part of the Poles master plan. Kevin Byard, former Tennessee Titans standout, was on the Eagles last season. He signed a 2-year, $15 million deal. Pretty affordable deal. He is our Eddie Jackson replacement, which feels fitting because Byard is a veteran. And granted, I know his time with the Eagles last season wasn't exactly great, but I'm not really going to hold it too much on him, given that he was playing. First off, he was traded halfway through the season, and he was playing for a defense that was being coached by Matt Patricia. So, yeah, I'm not going to hold it too much on him. Byard still seems to be very productive, even if he's not at his peak like he was with the Titans. And given that Jackson really was struggling last season, even for as much as I like Eddie, this feels like a good move given the price. Speaking of good pricing, Gerald Everett, he has signed a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Bears. This one had long been rumored because he has had long-time connections with our offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. I believe he was in Seattle with him during 2021, I believe. I believe he was on the Seahawks for a season or two. I'm okay with this. I like this move. It's a very good tight end to have as a tight end 2 behind Cole Kmet. So I'm very happy with what we got in terms of Gerald Everett here. So, yeah, some fine 2-year deals. Speaking of 2-year deals, Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles, welcome to the Bears. That's the only notable thing I want to say about Jonathan Owens because, yeah, he's Simone Biles' husband. And we stole her from the Packers, so you know what? That's based. That is
And honestly,
quite based, if you ask me.
we stay in a male life here.
Yes. Indeed. Indeed we do. Now, in terms of the other notable moves, before I get to the massive one, DeAndre Swift, 3-year deal, $24 million, $8 million average, signs with the Chicago Bears from the Philadelphia Eagles. Running back class was very interesting, but even given Saquon was off the board and along with Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry would go to the Ravens as everyone expected. I'm very happy with getting DeAndre Swift. He's younger than other running backs available. 25 years old, can still be productive. Still gets the yards that you want him to get. So given the price and all that, I am very pleased with that deal. And I think the big question regarding the Bears is who's going to be, what order are these running backs going to be in? Because you have Swift, you still have Herbert, who has kind of been hurt by injuries. I mean, he can still be productive, but I get the feeling with Swift, he's probably going to be an odd man out now. And you do have Roschon Johnson, who's entering his second season as someone who showed flashes last year, can be a very strong running back. So it's going to be interesting to see how the running back carousel plays for us regarding the Bears. But now we get to truly the big move. The big move that was announced yesterday for the Chicago Bears. That being, Keenan Allen has been traded from the LA Chargers to the Chicago Bears for a 4th-round pick.
Oh, holy crap.
4th-round pick for a guy who last season, throughout all the turmoil with the Chargers, throughout just how bad of a disaster the LA Chargers were under the Brandon Staley experiment, a guy who still managed to have, in 13 games by the way, missed some games, he still managed to have 1,243 yards last season and 7 touchdowns. Even throughout all the Chargers' chaos, he was one of the only things that went right for them last season. And here we are, we get our wide receiver too, and all we had to do was give up a 4th round pick. That is a Poles masterclass.
King Poles does it again.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't really shit on this deal. One of the things that just amazes me is, like, you know, you point out the fact that other wide receivers of his caliber were acquired for a 5th, but, you know, to me, like, a 4th and a 4th, like, day 3 picks they're like the loose change in your purse or wallet. It's nothing.
Yeah, loose change, and also the fact that this came out of nowhere, because, I mean, the Bears hadn't done much up to this point in terms of making a big splash move, but also, we had been linked to some receivers, like, we've still been linked to Mike Williams, but obviously to have Keenan Allen come out of nowhere and only have to give up a 4th rounder for him, more than excellent. Absolutely love to see it.
King Poles does it again.
Yes, and anyway, the other things to address regarding the Bears, we did invest. Granted, while I still don't think we have our center for the future, you know, long-term wise. I will say, in terms of O-line, in terms of our O-line roster, in terms of like the depth and all that, the Bears have definitely improved by getting some guys like Matt Pryor, Coleman Shelton. I know we made a trade with the Bills for Ryan Bates, I believe. Yeah, Ryan Bates. So it's not really. I mean, in terms of how I see the O-line, it's still definitely a work in progress. But there's no question that in terms of comparing it to last season to now, it's like, okay, there's still work to be done, but there's definitely a lot more here than there was even just last season, even after some of the moves we made last season. There's definitely more here that in case injuries happen, okay, it's not the end of the world here. Now, for the conversation that will still make Bears fans think it's the end of the world, Justin Fields still hasn't been traded. And as you can imagine, that has sparked lots and lots of annoying conversations in the Bears fandom.
I mean, if it isn't obvious, Justin Fields isn't going anything more than a 4th. You're without lots of pick swaps.
I think honestly, my prediction right now is I'd say a 3rd, because if Kenny Pickett can get a 3rd, I think Justin Fields gets you a 3rd.
It would be a 3rd and a 4th round swaps and a late round swap.
Yeah, I could also see Poles probably targeting for a 5th rounder, given we don't have a 5th round pick right now, but that's gonna be, yeah, in terms of what would happen with that, yeah, that's how I could see it going, given it feels like the options, there's no question that Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons absolutely derailed the whole Justin Fields plan in terms of, okay, this is going to be quick and over with, and now it's like, okay, so we're having to wait a lot longer than everyone is expecting. Not ideal, but you know what? Okay, hopefully. I mean, the one that was really annoying was when it was being reported that the Raiders and Bears were talking. They were having a lot of interest in terms of getting Justin Fields, and then literally 5 minutes later, it breaks that Gardner Minshew had signed with the Raiders. Like, that was annoying. That was like, oh, come the fuck on. Like, that was actually annoying right there, but if I still had to predict where he goes, there's 2 teams I'm predicting, and that is the Steelers, because they don't have a backup right now, and the Broncos, because I don't know what the Broncos are doing, and you know what? You might as well include them in this.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to add, there's always that Luke says X. because like when we go to, the combine, right? NFL GMs are all there. You're all talking about potentially, what moves are you going to make, for this upcoming season, right? You're discussing moves the entire time. I sense that I think the sentiment from a lot of coaches at the combine was the Bears have yet to make a decision on what they want to do with Justin Fields. I felt they waited too long.
Well, the main thing I've heard regarding what's going on regarding the Caleb Williams and Justin Fields stuff is regarding Caleb, they are waiting for his medical info. They're waiting for the medical exams to go through and all that, and regarding probably going to be within the next week or so that comes through, and I can bet you the moment that happens, yeah, okay, the decision's going to be set in stone, because from all accounts, from every NFL source, people agree that, like, even though it's taking a lot longer than everyone's expected, like, Caleb Williams is still the Bears guy right now. He's still gonna be their guy. Now, regardless of what happens with Fields, that's obviously something that still needs to be answered. Obviously, I said the Steelers because, well, they don't have a backup right now, given Kenny Pickett got told to go to Philly. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be a backup role for Justin Fields regarding where he goes, but yeah, that's still, it's like, I know where I get the feeling, okay, I know he's still gonna get moved, but it's still obviously, it's more just annoying having to deal with the delay over waiting for the inevitable to happen. Like, it's just, yeah, just keep on waiting.
Because, like, to me, right, I felt like, and I mentioned this last in a previous show, like, the longer you hold on to Justin Fields, the more value is just gone, right? My thing I would be frustrated with the Bears is, again, if it's not Caleb Williams, there are other options. And if you're not confident in either of them, then it should be trading down before free agency starts.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say this regarding the possibility of trading down. Bears are not trading down the number 1 pick. However, from all accounts, it seems there's a consensus agreement that after the signing of Keenan Allen, it's feeling very likely the Bears are gonna trade down from number 9. Feeling increasingly likely.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I think, for me, the Bears, right now I feel like if you decide that Caleb Williams is the guy, I feel like the Bears are playing with a lot of house money. I think the Bears are going to be one team that's going to be very, and I mean very, scary when it comes to the playoffs. Not even just playoffs. Just.
Well, I mean, Bears are scary regardless. I mean, have you seen one in person? They're huge.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. I do just want to say regarding the whole going back to what I wanted to add regarding the whole, possibility of trading down. I think it will completely depend on what happens with the receivers, because I'd have to imagine that the Chargers are 100% taking a receiver now, because there is no way you are having Quentin Johnston be your number 1 receiver.
I mean, even at minimum, you would assume they would at least try to sign somebody like Mike Williams again. You freed up cap space, and I'm hearing a lot of rumors they like the top tight end of Georgia.
Brock
Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Bowers. He's been late.
I've been hearing sentiment that they really love Brock Bowers.
Speaking
It
of
makes
other,
sense. He's a hardball type of player. He's the perfect hardball
yeah.
type of
Speaking
player.
of non quarterbacks that have been piquing interest in the NFL draft, I think Jerzon Newton is going to be one of those players that really sparks interests, especially from the Rams. Now that Aaron Donald has retired.
Oh yeah, we gotta get into that too.
The bad
Yeah,
man
thank
is
God.
gone.
I can only hope that the Rams keep eating shit after this, cause fuck them.
Right. Oh, hearing Aaron Donald retire.
I mean,
That means there's
give him, dude. He's a great. Yeah, he had a great career. He's a great player.
a
I just
Hall
hate
of
the
Fame
team he played
player.
for.
and
Yep.
that means
Ballot.
Bad man's gone.
there's one player left on the Rams that played on the team when they were in St. Louis, and that is right tackle Rob Havenstein.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out Havenstein. You are the final St. Louis Ram. Congratulations.
That is crazy.
Anyway, did the Seahawks do anything, or are you just gonna scream Brad for the next 5 minutes?
Well, here's my thing with the Seahawks. Okay, it's so complex with what John Schneider does for the team, right?
Yeah.
It is a lot of the times the stuff he never goes big game hunting for players. That's just not his style. He's never been a huge, player in free agency, which sure as hell pisses off a lot of Seahawks fans because we really wish, gee whiz, wouldn't it be great if, you had the ability to go big game hunting for some players, right? Something. But no, that's just not who John Schneider is. And he's somebody that wants to be smart when it comes to it. I'm a little upset about the Sam Howell acquisition. I'm not super thrilled about it because, for those who don't know, I would genuinely prefer that we get it's not I want Penix Jr. I want Penix Jr. Right? And the fact that what this team does, right, is they do the opposite, where they don't get, where they make a decision on Sam Howell, who, don't get me wrong, I feel like when it comes with Sam Howell, he's somebody that I think can play in the NFL. He's shown flashes of it, but I feel like how much of it is it like the same thing with Justin Fields, right? Where, hey, you got a guy that shows flashes of being a phenomenal starting quarterback, but yet, what is the key stat? Winning. Did Sam Howell win a lot? No, Sam Howell did not win a lot. And now he's going...
with Sam Howell...
and now that you're going to Seattle, where it's, a new head coach, defensive-minded head coach, we should damn well know that the mindset is you better develop, or if you don't, you're gone. You're done. That's it. And I'd rather we hold on to our third-round pick. I'd rather we trade down to the point where we can get as much value as we can, because I want Penix Jr. Like, he's been in our... Like, again, if I'm John Schneider, right? Penix Jr. has been in our backyard this entire time. We've seen how great he's been for 2 years. He's been healthy and played every game at Washington for 2 years. To me, the injury slightly back of my head, but I believe he can be a starting quarterback in this league. And especially, I wouldn't trade for Sam Howell, especially given how deep this quarterback draft class is. The $1 million question is, how many quality starters are we getting? Are we going to get something where it was like Joe Burrow's draft class, where that draft class alone is a grand slam, home run, and you could, if you drafted a quarterback, it was very, and you developed them, it's very likely that they were a home run, right? And then you got 2021, where we were told this quarterback class stinks, and surprise, surprise,
2022.
Sorry, 2022. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I can't say we were really let down by how bad it was. Even last year's quarterback class, there could be maybe one good starter out of that group. That being Stroud. And maybe it might be Anthony Richardson being another incredible stud. So there's your two. There's your two. Right? We could be getting, at minimum, I feel like with this upcoming draft class, 2.
5.
That's the very minimum. I think 2 guys are going to be quality starting quarterbacks, at most 4. At the very most 4, and if we're very lucky, 5. But I think it's probably going to be 2 to 3 from this group. And it's going to depend upon where they go.
Yeah.
And if they develop. And I want to take a shot with this class because I feel like it's going to have, percentage-wise, a higher hit rate than other classes. I don't know. I like Geno Smith and all, but I feel like this is the year you take Penix Jr. and you marinate him for a full season. Because I'm not really wowed by it. I mean, we lose Bobby Wagner to the Commanders.
Washington. Yep. Washington.
Which is, hey, Bobby gets to keep playing. Congratulations to him. But the thing that makes me upset the most is we lost Jordan Brooks. He was a first-round pick that actually hit. I felt like this is somebody who you extend for the long term. This is a linebacker that has been drafted and has played incredibly well. He's led the team in tackles when Bobby Wagner was playing in LA, and we don't even try to sign him. Okay. All right. Okay. We don't want to. Nope. We don't want to. Okay. That
Brad!
made me want to scream Brad the most. Because normally, I like to consider myself somewhat calm when it comes to John Schneider. It's to where it's, I don't really care. If it works, it works, it doesn't. Do we really lose stuff? We don't really lose stuff, right? But, man, Brad! How do we, I'm most mad about losing Jordan Brooks. And then we get Noah Fant and the defensive lineman that we acquired in a trade, which we better extend him. We paid a
Shelby
second
Harris.
for him. Great, Noah Fant still here. I guess we got a defensive lineman that was overblown by the Giants game. Still, I consider it a work in progress. We have no secondary. Why did we cut Diggs? Adams, I understand, because then you can just plug Jordan Love into the system. But why?
Jordan Brooks.
No, Jordan Love.
Huh?
No, I mean Jordan Love. Jordan Love was the safety that we had that was went to the Pro Bowl this year. He had a very good year.
Very weird that he's also named Jordan Love when Green Bay has a quarterback named...
Julian Love. Sorry, it's Julian Love.
That is-
Shit, sorry, Julian Love.
Okay,
My bad,
Julian
Julian
Love.
Love.
Okay,
Sorry,
that makes
Julian
sense.
Love.
That
My
makes
bad. It was Julian Love. He was great at safety. He was great at the safety position. Cornerbacks, great. Artie Burns is here, so he can probably get cut by training camp. Oh boy. But, there again, we're not going to draft the safety from this draft class. I know it's a need, but I'd rather we have Diggs and Love there. Like they're both great players, did really good, and now we need a linebacker core to be completely bricked. Although we got the best top graded linebacker in the NFL this season from Buffalo, that will be interesting. But outside of that, we'll see what the draft is. We'll see where we go. But
well, you did say you needed help with secondary. Be careful what you wish for, because that might mean you draft Kool-Aid McKinstry.
No. We do not need a cornerback. Shut up.
You will take the funny name. You will take it. You will take the funny name.
I mean, he's gonna be better than Tariq Woolen, that's for sure.
But like Tariq Woolen is, I believe, salvageable. I think Tariq Woolen is someone who you can salvage.
Drink the Kool-Aid, brother.
Please, no. I don't want Kool-Aid McKinstry. No.
Okay, so going back to, as funny as this is, I do just want to say regarding Sam Howell, because my honest thoughts on Sam Howell is, I mean, he's someone who has potential. He can be a guy who can, he could, possibly be a Gardner Minshew type quarterback, in my opinion, where he's productive. He won't be a long-term starter for you, but he can get the job done for you. The only thing is, the thing that concerns me really with Sam Howell, and I get why Seahawks fans wouldn't be happy about this, is, Howell did show flashes. He did show flashes last season, but what's concerning is a lot of those flashes came in the first half of the season.
Yeah,
like it was like when teams couldn't figure him out. They didn't, really have a great radar on how he was as a quarterback, and that's why he had great games against the likes of the Eagles, Falcons, Seahawks. But then after that Seahawks game, good lord, it got bad.
He went from
bad.
being the future starter to soon to be out of the league.
Yeah, the game that I think truly sealed his fate was the Jets game, where he threw 56 yards, had 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and completed just 6 passes on 22 attempts.
That's bad.
And it was made even worse. It was made much worse by the fact that in not just the Jets game, but also the Rams game, Jacoby Brissett came in and seriously outplayed Sam Howell. And look, I understand that Washington is a flawed team. Their O-line is an abomination, but that's not a good look when Jacoby Brissett is seriously outplaying you.
I'll let you more about Sam Howell. I'm just going to run to the bathroom.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, Sam Howell... Yeah, I think I've made my point with Sam Howell. He's a guy who can be productive, but, that second half of last year really... it does not paint a good look for him.
Welcome back to the Secret Podcast. Today's episode, favorite cereal. Which is yours?
Mini wheats. Fight me.
Mini wheats? The fuck?
I like mini wheats. It's fine. Depends on what flavor it is, though, for me.
I just have that lightly frosted one, and sometimes I have a fun fact. Sometimes when I was in college, I would eat it on its own and just have the milk on the side.
I will ask this though. I think there's a real question that needs to be asked about cereal. Whenever a cereal discussion gets talked about, everyone needs to ask this question. What are your opinions on Raisin Bran?
Raisin Bran.
It's something I'd eat if I was in a hotel and I had no other choice.
It's there. It's a system
honestly,
cereal.
Yeah, it's a system cereal where it's I'll eat it. I definitely, in terms of how I feel about it, it's do I consider it the greatest cereal? No, obviously not. But in terms of a cereal, it's if it's there, I'll eat it. I used to hate Raisin Bran though, because I used to hate raisins.
I came in at hating raisins. What?
Raisin Bran. We're talking about Raisin
Yeah,
Bran.
we're talking Raisin Bran.
Oh,
I
we
used
switched
to
to
hate
cereal.
Raisin Bran.
Cool.
Yeah, the secret podcast has now become the cereal podcast.
Cereal. My last note for Sam Howell. If he somehow does develop into the next great quarterback, great. If again, stopgap, that's Geno. Come on.
Sorry, he's the franchise now.
Unless you guys somehow draft Michael Penis Jr.
Hey, if hey, I still at the end of the day, I still think Michael Penix Jr. is on the table.
Drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the.
I'm gonna drink
Hold
this
on, I
Michael
wanna
Penix
see-
Kool-Aid. I still think he's still on the table.
I'm looking at the tank. I want to see where Michael Penix is linked to right now, in terms of the tankathon. He is currently linked to the Raiders in the second round.
Oh wow. I still think it was. I still think it was very funny that the very exact day that that the Seahawks made their move for Sam Howell, I looked at Tankathon and Penix was going to the Giants with the Seahawks pick. Like, ow.
That's why I checked it for that exact reason.
But no, they want JJ McCarthy though.
So they want mobile Daniel Jones, really?
But I want. All I want is. All I want in life is Michael Penix Jr.
Drink the McKinstry Kool-Aid.
I don't want McKinstry Kool-Aid.
Drink it!
Why do I have to have McKinstry Kool-Aid? Why can't the Bears draft McKinstry Kool-Aid or the Niners draft?
Because our secondary's good. We don't need another cornerback.
We don't. Our
We already
quarterbacks.
have decent quarterbacks.
Like, why can't the Vikings get Kool-Aid McKinstry?
Now that would be funny.
Well, because for us, I think our big priority should be Bone, like a quarterback, and Johnny Newton. I
Well,
think
you're projected to take him right now at number 23.
yes, love it. We need an Aaron Donald, bro. Sorry,
Yeah.
I amped myself up.
Hey, that's okay. You're allowed to, psych yourself up. You're
Yeah,
allowed.
I mean-
You're allowed to do that.
I mean, shoot, Aaron Jones wanted us.
Yeah.
I'm just, the reason we got Sam Darnold is because our first option, Aaron Rodgers, has decided to pursue a political campaign as the vice president to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah. So if you cleaned your eyeballs after seeing that tweet because you thought that could not be a real sentence, then you might be owed compensation.
That is true.
Yeah. Hold on.
But man, Brady has been absolutely insane. I still love what the Bears have been doing. Yes, cuts have happened, cuts have come along. But I saw this tweet from I saw this on NFL memes on Instagram, and they said we should keep free agency like down low, like nobody knows what happens, and then the first week we see the moves that happened. And it's just one giant mystery until you see what players run out of the tunnel.
Can you imagine how annoying Twitter would be to use?
Twitter is already very annoying.
Even more so.
Yeah. Twitter is a hellscape. I am not fond of the direction the platform is going in.
Yeah,
and
I'm
also not fond that the
elongated muskrat is.
It's the thing that makes me upset the most about Twitter is the fact that this platform, it's the best when it comes to covering sports.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
It's the worst part. Like it's garbage.
Like it's so good at covering sports, but it's so ass in other regards. Like
it's a shithole of an app. It's a complete and utter shithole of an app, and it's been that way for the longest time. But god damn it, I can't leave it because it's how I get my news. It's how I get my news about sports and all that.
Like
Exactly.
literally, the only thing keeping me from going on Blue Sky 24/7 is the news coverage of sports.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah.
I want to get off of this platform, but I'm like a crack addict. I just can't.
And since Tegan's not here, we can make this joke. We're like Marby's addicts.
I just want a platform that can give me, like, again, Treads, sure, it's nice and all. But, oh my god.
Yeah. Elon Musk, you are another unofficial L of the year.
I mean, he might not
Yeah.
be and even get to the L of the Year status, you know?
Yeah. L of the decade, dude. L of the decade.
Like, the thing that frustrates me the most is, especially when it comes to, especially when it comes to like a platform like X in general, is just again the thing that really made me so upset is, you remember when hockey, NHL free agency, right? You remember when of this most recent year when that was about to happen, the first day that happens. Do you know how hectic that is? Did we even get anything? No, because Elon Musk was switching over to a different server, and we had the whole view limit, which I don't think to this day has been changed. To this day, there are viewing restrictions on X, right? And even after all of this, right? Even after all of like the amount of like actual ad space that has left X in general, right? It's still up. It still exists.
But hey, Elon, thanks for making sure that every single post I get has a response of some sex bot saying, "Check out my junk in my bio."
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
You know what's the worst
so much
thing?
for estimating the bot.
Like, the worst thing is like, you know those, like, top meme pages that are on X, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're the most worthless things on the planet.
Yeah, when they're the worst is the ones that just straight up post Nazi bullshit.
Exactly.
There's a reason I follow the gimmick accounts being annoying / posting L's account. Like, you just see how full of shit all these gimmick accounts are, and how ever since Twitter became, pay to, get the engagement and all of that, it's literally just, it's the same fucking tweets from all these different accounts, and it's so fucking annoying.
I agree.
It's like, especially with these accounts, like you can go onto the For You section. Like you can go just to any For You section, right? On the platform X, right? And know that it is filled with smut and garbage. Right?
See, and I don't mind too much smut, you know, because, like...
Because, like, it's like, you can go to any meme page, right? And it is just going to be filled with nothing but, like, oh, hey, look at this video. There's, like, no posts or feed that involves, like, any sort of reasonable interaction with it. Right? There's...
Yeah, and honestly, there's another one. I've seen big tweets go viral with videos, and there's no sound. Like, there's no sound to it, and yet it gets massive views. And you know, it's been said many times as of late, but current state of Twitter is proving the dead internet theory true.
I'm also a big proponent of the rent due theory, where you know, since Twitter Blue lets you monetize your tweets, people are saying very obvious dumb shit, so they can make money off of.
It's like they're posting videos, and all I see is this blue verified stuff of just nothing but videos that have nothing to do with the post. Instead of, oh, haha, this is funny, and a lot of it is just, it's the same thing over and over again. It is just smut and garbage, and that's the platform Muskrat wants to have. Like, there's already no ads. Like, no ads on all of it is crypto scams.
Let's be honest, Muskrat he's immune to humiliation. He's willingly made himself a
By
fraud.
the way, the whole smut thing does not apply to NSFW artists. You guys are cool. Keep on rocking on.
I thought that stuff got banned anyways. It's again, thank God. Like I tried going with both your following and For You page, and following. Oh, thank God I have following, because, dude, I could not go without, looking at everyone's like shitty posts that have nothing to do with. That's why I don't use Instagram. That's why I don't use Threads, is because it's just, well, I'm not interested in these posts. And you don't have something that can keep me up to date with what I want to know. And that's huge in the information era of this world.
Gotcha.
Yeah, thank God. I'm just gonna say, just to sum it up, like, just to conclude this, like, thank God that the block and mute button still exists, because, yeah, that's the only way that you can even act sane, like, have some sort of sanity on this app.
Gotta agree. Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to honest about the blocking I'm doing.
Like, because if Twitter gets to the point where, like, it's to the point of where, yeah, we have to leave the site, and we have to swallow our pride and go to a different platform. Like, once we get there, right, it's gonna be a sad day. Because there's not one platform that is better. Like, they're trying, but most major companies would prefer us using Threads over Twitter. But we can't because of a fucking homophobic, racist Neanderthal.
Yeah, honestly, like, at this rate, it's just like, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that I have no intentions of supporting a current act to ban another certain social media app, because you know what? If they did it for Twitter, I'd be willing to sacrifice some of my rights if it meant Twitter got banished from existence.
But they're not promoting pro-Palestinian content, so that'll never happen.
Yeah.
That's where most of the clock app stuff is coming from. You know.
And the thing with it too, it's how much of it is. Again, I feel before, like, the only thing that's the saving grace of Twitter is flat out the community section, which I feel a lot of that times it's, again, you gotta question, is it real or is it not? Some of it is, but like, some of it is just misinformation that's just going around that people are consuming.
Although I do love the community notes violating people account.
Oh, God bless that account so
Yep.
much. Oh my God.
Even Elon got violated.
Oh, thank God for just that account. It's just
That's the one good. That's like the one good thing to come out of the Musk reign of terror. That has been the one good thing.
oh,
Yep.
thank God for this one. Like, oh,
Oh yeah, there's one more team in free agency, by the way.
Oh, I know this one. Is it the Miami Dolphins losing everybody?
but they also got
Oh,
some
yeah,
guys. But they also got
they
some
got-
guys though.
Yeah, I mean they got a few guys, but yeah, the Dolphins got absolutely fucking gutted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going. So okay, now going on to my team. I'll be honest. I kind of expected, Armstead leaving because he had a huge contract and he honestly had some injury issues. Like, he's a great run stopper and all, and he's like a Northern California native. But when you're missing time due to injuries, availability is the best asset. And unfortunately, at that contract, we cannot afford it. We cannot afford to see him lose a lot of games. So I kind of like what we're doing, letting him go, and instead building through depth. Like on the defensive end, we have Vitor Gross Matos and Leonard Floyd, good pickups, and at defense tackle, Malik Collins and Jordan Elliott, good pickups, and for corner depth, Isaac Yadom, who was a decent replacement for decent replacement for Marshall Lattimore when he got injured in Nolans. See, another loss we had. We also brought back J1 Jennings and John Feliciano. Good, because they've been J1 especially has been clutch at first down situations. We've restructured, Fred Warner's and Kyle Juszczyk's contracts to give us more space. What else? Oh yeah, we signed Devondre Campbell as our temporary Dre Greenlaw replacement, and eventually he's gonna be our LB3 when Greenlaw is healthy. Good pickup, and I kind of like that. Instead of like going for one big signing and a bunch of small ones, we're going for more depth. And honestly, people were screaming, "Oh, we should sign an old lineman." I think we should wait until the draft because a lot of the old linemen that are available are going to be pretty damn pricey. And if we're going to retain Ayuk and Purdy, can't be making too many big purchases. So it's better off that we focus on the draft and just focus on the getting what we have, getting what we can get at a reasonable amount, a reasonable cost. And yeah, I think the Niners will be fine. We're gonna be fine, at the very least. We will still be contenders for quite a bit, and honestly, I think people are still sad over Armstead. It was for the best, guys. You don't want to be like putting too much money on one dude, especially one who's had injury issues as of late. So yeah, all's well. Oh, everything good here. Just chug along.
Alright, now comes my favorite part of the day.
What's that? The weather report?
Spring training.
Oh,
So, how's everyone's spring training going?
I feel like I'm learning a lot.
Well, okay, so as for my team, I think we had a kind of rough-ish start, and having injuries to our pitching rotation ain't helping. But one thing I've been impressed with is our offense is much better than last year. I can already see Jung-Hoo Lee, Jorge Soler, and Matt Chapman providing immediate impact, and Matos. He's built muscle, and he's becoming like an offensive threat. And our pitching, I mean, it's gonna be solid. Obviously, we're gonna be hoping that Robbie Ray gets back before the end of the season and Alex Cobb gets healthy, and we're hoping that guys like Keaton Wynn and Tristan Beck can round to form, and of course Webb is still Webb, which is good. And I mean, I'd love to have Blake Snell, but it's not exactly a need. I think right now we're doing fine. It's spring training after all. I'm not gonna put too much stock on the results.
Mm-hmm. What really is happy to me about spring, now the spring training for the Mariners is quite unique because it really, like, I mean, we're not going to be able to talk about, opening day quite yet for a while. The thing that is kind of like my preview of the Mariners, the thing that is the biggest thing is, all right, look, the off season has ended, the dust hath settled. Are you mad at Jerry DePoto? No, I am not. Am I still mad at the Mariners ownership brass? Kind of still pissed off at them, really. Doing this whole nonsense of not really extending anybody, making it really hard to try and build a competitive team with Julio's prime young years, right?
Yeah.
But, oh my god, did Jerry DePoto ever work wizardry? This man worked witchcraft levels of stuff. Like I swear he's a witch. This man is a witch. What he had to do to get this team to any sort of a competitive ceiling is incredible. This man had to leap leaps and bounds. Let's first of all get things started with the bad news. Losing Eugenio Suarez. Yes, that absolutely stinks. A very well beloved player of
Did you
this
lose
team.
the bumper?
No, Cal Raleig's still here. Oh, the city would riot if Cal Raleigh was not on this team. Oh, there would. I'm telling you, Spencer. Like, I'm not kidding you. When there would be fucking riots if that happened. Like, oh,
right.
Cal Raleig's here. So, anyways, Eugenio Suarez gets sent away for third string catcher and bullpen arm. Everybody was really upset because this was clearly a move to trim salary. Clear as day, this was a move that was going to trim salary. Nobody liked this move. It was a sign that management was going to be cheap for the team that weren't really going to actually spend to really help this team. Right? So, then here we go, right? Here we go. It's the start of we keep going here, and we lose Kelnick, White, Marco to the Braves for another bullpen arm and Brandon Phelps. It was a second round guy with a lot of high velocity to it. That trade, oh boy, they're moving off of more salary, they're moving off of more guys. I understand moving off of a guy like Marco Gonzalez and Evan White. Evan White hasn't been healthy in 3 seasons. He hasn't played a full season since 2019. So we already know how bad this is. Another move off of salary, and we're all like, what are we going? Then the holidays come. January 1st, Mitch Garver, a catcher, gets signed to Seattle. And everybody's like, whoa. What are we doing here? What's going on? Right? Like, what are we doing? Type levels of shit. What kind of shit's happening here, right? Like, we're trading away our best potential players? Like, is it serious? Like we have Cal Rowley. Why are we getting Mitch Garver? So, a lot of Mariners fans were so not happy about this move. They were so mad at this move. The fact, we have Cal Rowley, and our answer is a guy that can play catcher when we need him. So, alright. We are in the worst mindset. Of course, we all know, the 54% win rate. Mariners fans wanting to burn management at the literal stake. It was not a good time to be a Mariners fan. It just wasn't. So, lo and behold, we come along, we enter January, and the Mariners trade for Jorge Polanco. Alright. They sent away... Oh, sorry, no. The first move was Mitch Haniger coming back to Seattle. And we offload Robbie Ray's salary. So all of a sudden, our pool of money just opens up. Sure, well, it's a trade that netted 0. We got Estefani, who we were going to offload to Minnesota. And we get Jorge Polanco. And then they trade for a bullpen arm, the DeSantos from the White Sox. Spicy. They make some other moves to get Arias, Samad Taylor, and Luke Raley as potential depth pieces. And we get acquire some bullpen arms to where the team looks like where it is today. And I think this team has the potential to go very far. And there's good news. Brash is not out for the season. He got a second opinion on a doctor. He'll be back. He'll be back in no time. He'll be back probably before the end of April. He has to do his warm-up for spring training. Same thing for DeSantos. He'll have to do his full spring training thing. Both will probably get some rehab assignments in the future. So, now what do I think of this team? Right now, our starting rotation, our starting lineup, looks like Julio, JP, Mitch, Ty France, Cal Rowley, Mitch Garver. Those are kind of going to be your everyday players. Now, there's one player that is having a very, very good spring training. He's having great spring training by the name of Samad Taylor. Now, I was talking with my friend about the potential of what Samad Taylor could really do for this team. I look at Samad Taylor as, again, you look at his debut that he had with the Royals, where he hit a home run and then robbed Mike Trout of a home run in all its funny glory. So, he is my dark horse candidate for the Mariners this year. He is my number one dark horse. He's my dark horse candidate for the team to be super, super fucking good. What he's been able to do this spring, he's been shown that he's able, like, what the Mariners want. Speed and power. And he has all of that. And he is someone that could be a huge, huge impact player. We still have Luis Arias, who still's got a minor league option up for hoping he can really blossom into. He's starting to get hot as of late. And everybody else, like, you look at the OPS of spring training, even though it's spring training, it's all over one. It's all things that you want to see your guys do. They're hitting the ball very well. It's just the only thing that's just the biggest question mark is the bullpen. Looks really shaky, but we're hoping that turns around. But this Mariners team could be really good with the acquisitions it made. And to even make this team is going to be so hard. There's going to be a lot of depth that's going to be caught up. There's a lot of depth players that are trying to fight to be on this team come opening day. And even then, you look at their AAA team, that's going to be nearly as good. Almost like really, really good this year in Tacoma. Like, it's going to be a really good year for the Rainiers. And the Mariners are just going to have a lot of options that they're going to be able to sift through to make this team look really, really good. They're younger, they're better, and the only prospect that really cost them, two of them, Isaiah Campbell and Gabriel Gonzalez. Those are the real losses of this team. And the $1 million question is Kelenic going to do anything in Atlanta? Because if Kelenic is pretty harmless in Atlanta, oh boy, he wasn't really popular. He wasn't popular with the fans already, right? So with this in mind, it's going to be incredible to see what happens with Kelenic in Atlanta. If he mashes well, I think fans are going to be molding. But if he doesn't, what did you really lose? You didn't really lose much. So I'm excited for the season. I'm ready for the season. I've watched every single spring training game. Like, this is how ready I am. I am so ready. This team is going to do a lot of good things this year. The key thing is the same. It's going to be this game schedule. We want them to have a strong April, survive May, surge again in June, and soar in July and August. And September is going to be the make it or break it month, as always it is for this team. But let's see what happens. They have the best starting five rotation in all of baseball, in my opinion. It is the $1 million question. Are you going to go to 5 or 6? Even if they go to 5, they're still going to have a very good pitcher in Hancock that is ready to go if one of our starters do go down, which it will always happen. Like, Gilbert has been healthy for a while. Luis Castillo has been healthy for a while. Injuries creep up, but you pray that they don't. But this Mariners team, I can't wait. Even in the minor league systems, I can't wait. The guys that we brought up have done very well. Like, I can't wait to see what this team does through all levels. And the number one prospect that I have my eye on is Jeter Martinez, another pitcher for the Mariners, who pitched a under 2 ERA in the Dominican Summer League. I can't wait to see him stateside and start in Modesto. I'm excited for this year. The only bad news is both pitchers acquired in the Kelenic, Gonzalez, and Evan White trade are both out for the season for Tommy John surgery. So, yikes. Ugh. And the last note, the trade for Luis Castillo has been nothing but a grand slam. One of Noelle Marte got suspended 80 days for substance abuse. That is never good. That sucks. I was really hoping he was going to do well, but damn. That's a shame. We got one of our pitchers back that we claimed off of waivers from the Reds. One of the prospects that they got for it is off the top 100 prospects, and the other one took a step back in height, a last year. So just be careful if you send a bunch of prospects. You better hope they do well, because a lot of the time they really don't. It's a mixed bag. Some of these guys can do well above AAA. But it's exciting to talk about young players in baseball, because I feel like the more names we know, the more people we can cheer on for the organization. And at the end of the day, they're like stocks, and you better hope they just keep rising and rising. And yeah, that's what I got for the Mariners. Exciting stuff for the Mariners this year. I'm excited.
All right, Nick, do you want to talk about the Cubs next, or do you want me?
I'll let you go. If you could go first, honestly, if you want to get the Brewers out of the way.
Oh God, the Brewers. What a. We had one season, and then it immediately just kind of petered out after that. And the worst part is this is the most successful stretch in franchise history. That's pathetic. I'm sorry, but that's what are we doing here? This is once again a year where where we have Christian Yelich and Christian Yelich accessories.
And the number one prospect in baseball.
We do have Jackson Churio, but as far as Milwaukee baseball itself goes, it's going to be underwhelming, folks. Just tune this year out. Sell Yelly at the deadline.
My thing with it is I've been hearing a little bit different things. It's more what I believe the Brew Crew are going to have to be relying heavily is their prospect pool. I think they're going to be tapping into it heavily this season. Very heavily.
Because the people we have, in the big show right now just aren't it. They just aren't it. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to say anything about Milwaukee, it's you better hope the prospect pool comes up clutch for you. You have the best prospect for a reason. Better hope it stays that way, because if not, then get ready for a lot of years. Get ready to keep hearing the jokes that the Houston Astros have more NL pennants than the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, as
At least you guys have more AL pennants than the Mariners.
As somebody who, as somebody who, already has to deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, the Minnesota Wild, and the Minnesota Vikings, I've kind of become numb to it at this point.
Yeah.
That's fair. Completely fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna shut up about dealing with teams, cause
Yeah. Get out of here, fucking spoiled ass privileged boy.
Yeah, we know. We know.
I mean,
I'm a Sharks fan. That should count for something, right?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
The thing with the Sharks, it's again, you really just skip the next 3-4 seasons. It's not worth it.
Quit acting like the Sharks are this invincibility armor for you to bitch about stuff
I'll say this: if you're a Sharks fan, all I'll say is, well, you'll have more time to take vacations, I guess. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have more time to watch the Niners and the Warriors and the Giants.
See, that's what I mean. You thoughts, you bastards.
He's running out of curse words to use.
I'm gonna have to start making my own.
Well, you guys better enjoy this, because when Eklund, Smith, Musty, etc. start developing, you guys are fucked.
But my problem with it is
you absolute swunt.
the thing is, Aiden, that's all you have, and you're gonna need more than that.
Well, that's why we're tanking and drafting more. We're probably gonna go defenseman if we can. If we're not gonna get Celebrini, we're getting a defenseman. We got because apart from Okamadulin and Frun, there isn't really many defensive prospects in our system that I would consider pro ready yet.
Like that's why I say it's 3 to 4 years. It's gonna be. The Sharks are good. Like it's the same boat Blackhawks were in. It's the same boat the Coyotes are in. You're gonna be bad for a very, very, very long time.
That's good because you guys are fucked when we get good again. I'd rather we stuck for a while than become a super team in the end than, just keep, half-assing shit and ending up like the Minnesota Wild. Sorry,
Well,
Spencer.
the Minnesota Wild are gonna be
Honestly, shut
fine.
the fuck up! Seriously, why do you have to keep bringing us up?
The
Can you
Wild.
not find another team for an example? God,
Alright,
damn it.
the Flames. The Flames. We
But you know
don't
what?
have
Let's say the Blue Jackets. Say the
Blue Jackets,
are
yeah,
kind
that's
of
a good
very
one.
easy.
Blue Jackets, like, they've been bad for so long, I don't think there's a way out. And as for the Wild, they're going to be free of cap hell this offseason.
Yeah, 2025, that's our year.
Like, they're waiting
Alright,
for their cap to
anyway.
open up, so... Yeah.
Okay, anyways, before one of us kills each other, I think it's time that I
Talk
get
about-
the show back on track and talk about the Chicago Cubs.
Do it.
Yeah, so, optimism is high right now with the Cubs. There's definitely, I would say, compared to the start of last season, expectations are, as expected, higher for obvious reasons. If I had to say what expectations for the Cubs are this year, it's no question playoffs or bust. Like, this is the playoffs or bust season. Last year, it was about being competitive, gain a winning record and all that. And in the end, we did that. Wish it didn't come with the really bad stretch that we had at the end of the season. However, sometimes sacrifices need to be made. And, in the long term, that might benefit us because obviously the Cubs, the brass obviously saw, okay, you know what? We want to be very competitive, and for as much as we like Ross, we felt we need a change. So obviously, you surprise everyone by hiring counsel, obviously, and obviously that sparks an entire, hype for the off season because okay, we've made our big move already, and then for most of the off season, outside of getting Shota Iman. I can't. God damn it! Now I'm struggling with last names. This is just what you want to see.
Imanaga.
But
It's okay,
Imanaga, yeah, thank you very much.
Japanese isn't your strength, I don't think.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely not my strength. And by the way, he's looked pretty good in spring training. He's gotten a lot of strikeouts, which I love to see. After that, it was more of a waiting game, just waiting for who is going to bite the bullet first between Jed Hoyer and Scott Boras regarding Cody Bellinger. And thankfully for us Cubs fans, it was Scott Boras who ended up taking the defeat. A really bad defeat because Cody Bellinger ended up re-signing with the Cubs for a very, very reasonable contract. I think much less money than anyone was expecting. But it was a massive win for Jed Hoyer and the Cubs, and obviously getting Bellinger back is obviously what you wanted to see, because I feel like a big reason Cody Bellinger was so wanted by Cubs fans, obviously outside of the fact that he had a great season last year, had a really comeback season, what you love to see from that. Obviously, I feel like he just represented, okay, even if the Cubs have their struggles, he represented the fact that the Cubs are progressing. They are getting back, to being a winning team in some way, and even though the Cubs, even if we didn't re-sign them, they would still be, a strong team in many areas. It wouldn't have felt the same without having that guy who has really done a lot to help make this team better. So obviously bringing Bellinger back is great for business. Spring training wise, they've looked good. The offense has look good. I am interested in terms of guys who could make the roster, because in terms of depth pieces, I mean, Christopher Morel is already going to be our third base. He's confirmed to be our third baseman for this season. Then you have Mike Tauchman, who was announced for, he'll be in the opening day lineup, well deserved. Strong need in the outfield. and gonna be interesting because of all the guys to really go off at spring training, that's not one of our young guys. David Bodie's been having a great. He's been having a great spring training, which if you remember David Bodie, I'm sure national fans will love to have some flashbacks about that guy. But yeah, he might actually make the roster, which would be a nice story to have there. But in terms of our prospects, how have the guys been doing? In terms of who I'm hyped up the most about, because Pete Crow Armstrong, our top prospect, is going to be starting the season in Iowa, which, I mean, defense is there, but it's very clear that, okay, the swing still needs work. And I think having him start in Iowa with a more coherent plan than what was had with David Ross last season, because if there was anything that David Ross got criticized rightfully for last season, it was the way he handled some of the young guys, because there was guys like Alexander Canario who, you know, had an excellent start. He got called up and had an excellent debut game, and then he just didn't see the field for a while for God knows why, and it was that incoherent mess that probably hurt some of our young guys last season. So at the very least this season, it feels like there is a coherent plan for our young prospects. And if there's any young prospect that's really been lighting up that I haven't talked about, or really haven't talked about as much already, our future third baseman, as I like to describe him, Matt Shaw, who is quickly rising up the prospect rankings. I'm pretty sure, I'll look at the top 100, I'm pretty sure he's in the top 60 now, but he is definitely set to be our future third baseman, given that we drafted him last year in the draft, and he's already progressed as well as he has. He is currently in the top 100 prospects. He is number 54, and he is projected for 2025. So he's progressing very well. His defense is already something you'd love to see at a major league level, and his offense continues to develop very well. So that 2025 target is looking very likely for him, which is something you'll love to see if you're the Cubs. In terms of what I expect for this season, in terms of how I think we'll do, like hitting wise, I'm very confident in. I think our offense will be our strength. It was definitely our strength in the second half of the season last year, where it did very well. Pitching will be interesting because Justin Steele, no doubter. Our number one guy, no doubter about it. Kyle Hendricks was productive last season. Hopefully he can remain productive after getting that surgery over a year ago. And obviously you have Shota, who I don't know if he'll be our 3 or 2 guy, but I expect him to do well given how his strikeouts have been looking excellent in spring training. Then it gets interesting afterwards because Ty Lone had an injury, which is, given his injury history, not exactly ideal to have him have an injury, but I think 4 and 5 will be... I'm interested in seeing who we have at 4 and 5 for us, because I get the feeling Jordan Wicks will be in the lineup for us, which I'm pleased about. He's been productive for us, and honestly, for number 5, I wouldn't be surprised if Javier Assad gets the number 5 spot. He feels like an ideal Craig Counsell pitcher, where he's sufficient at both being a starting pitcher but also a reliever. He can really do both at the same time, and honestly, that would be very ideal to have on a team that managed by a guy who knows how to, very successful at making some of these schemes work. So yeah, the Cubs, there's definitely optimism with the Cubs. Should be a fun season for us, and hopefully we live up to the expectations, because I definitely feel like this is a Cubs team that should make the playoffs. This is a team that has playoffs in mind, and very likely this is a team that can win the division. I have no doubt about that.
Just a bit of a warning about Craig Counsell, as somebody who saw Craig Counsell ball as a Brewers fan. Watch out, because right as things are getting good, the the hitting will get cold. Like,
Yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna say the hitting, the playoff, especially playoff hitting, it gets cold. I had a feeling that was what was gonna be said.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
They'll look great, and then all of a sudden, Lorenzo Kane doesn't know how a baseball bat works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that's a very that felt very fitting for a team like Milwaukee. So it would be interesting to see if that trend continues. However, either way, regardless, I am excited for this Cubs season.
Mm-hmm. Just figure I'll give you a heads up.
Yeah, understandable.
So that's baseball. I think it's time to talk about March Madness.
Madness. Yeah. People are mad in March. Yeah. I have no
Basketball.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
by the way, I'm thinking about starting another bracket challenge. Do you guys wanna be in, or should we wait for
Sure.
someone to start it?
Oh yeah, I'll be in it. I'll be in it. I'm gonna make whoever wins is gonna win March Madness in my opinion. Is Alabama gonna make it this year?
Yeah.
Okay, Alabama's gonna win it all. Is Georgia in it?
No.
Ooh, I know Michigan has bad this year.
Yeah, Michigan's terrible. They fired Howard. They just fired Howard today, so they're
I don't-
definitely out of it.
Think Washington is in it.
Washington's not in it.
Texas.
Texas should be in.
Texas. Oh, ooh, Texas and Alabama in the finals.
My dad said to gas up Iowa State in this section. So yeah, I think Iowa State could make it to the Elite Eight this year.
I could see that genuinely.
Have they named teams yet for March Madness?
No, this is largely speculation, I think. I think the bracketology starts this weekend.
Yeah, it starts on Sunday, and all I know is that, in terms of results from today, all I can say is SEC blew their shot at a number 1 seed.
Woof.
Why am I not surprised?
Woof.
Also, I just want to say, this is a stat that should probably preview of what's upcoming for March Madness. 14 conference number 1 seeds have lost in their tournaments.
Wow.
That is north side of March.
You could certainly do better than that, huh?
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, who are you rooting for, actually?
Me?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't watch college basketball. I don't watch basketball in general.
I watch college sports in general.
I think the winner of this year, March Madness, is either Alabama or Texas. Either of those two.
I so cannot wait for the bracket reveal so I can.
Like, is it? I don't watch basketball. Period. I think the only basketball game I've watched this year was the Detroit Piss Babies for like 5 minutes.
Piss Babies.
That's it. That's all the basketball. Like, I don't watch basketball, right? I've never had an interest for basketball.
Speaking of the Pistons, just want to say, speaking of the Pistons, they officially got eliminated today.
Aww.
They had so much hope. Oh.
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that the Pistons got eliminated, or the fact that the Wizards are so much fucking worse.
Yeah, they weren't even the first team to get eliminated. Actually, I think they weren't even the second one either.
Number 3.
Bruh. Well, they
Wiz,
might actually
how you
lose
got-
the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Wizards, how you guys enjoying Jordan Poole?
Yeah. I mean, the thing with March Madness, I understand. Like I'll say this here, I understand the significance of March Madness because this is literally the last moment of glory that some of these kids will have. Like the last moment of glory that these kids will have before they start working a 9 to 5. There's only it's
Or start learning Chinese.
mm-hmm. Like it's unfortunate that it's the way it is.
By the way, did you know that this season, this period of time is actually the #1 time for men to get a vasectomy?
What the fuck?
It's true. Because you're supposed to have a certain amount of time of recovery and after the procedure, and so a lot of guys think, well, what better time to recover than when March Madness is happening? So,
You could have, Spencer. You could have given me 1,000 chances to predict what you were gonna. You could give me 1,000 chances to predict what you were gonna say right there, and I would not have gotten that right.
What the fuck?
I can't believe you guys have never heard of that.
I know that, like, I know that there, like, I understand, like, there's usually a joke when it comes to March Madness, how people will schedule surgeries. Like, I've heard of that joke before. Like, they'll actually schedule surgeries, during this time, right?
Yeah.
It's not a joke. It's actually very serious that people actually do schedule surgeries this time of year during March Madness, right?
Yeah.
Like that's something that like I do know does happen. I did not need to know it was fucking vasectomies. What the fuck? Dude, I didn't need to know that.
Yeah, that's a clip. All right, that's a clip.
What the fuck? I
Main thing I'm thinking right now is that fucking Family Guy clip where Peter's just like, who the fuck starts a conversation like that?
yeah,
Exactly.
who does? Yeah, do you guys? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna use. You know what, Spencer? Because of this, what I want you to use, I want you to go into work and just, casually and just, sip on whatever beverage that you need to, really help you to get going. And guys, hey, did you know that most people schedule a vasectomy around the time of March Madness because it helps them recover, and you just keep drinking whatever beverage you're just drinking. And then you just like even if it's just like a little like a little cup tea, you're just shaking it or like awkwardly just moving in a circular motion with like their cup, and then you're just drinking from it, and you're just and all that you feel is like and you can how you can feel a bunch of people just completely staring at you going, what the fuck? Like, that's what's going to be the reaction.
It reminds me of when 5 Point Vid for the dumpster fire back a couple years ago when he invited Scooter McGruder onto it for an episode, literally 5 minutes in, and he literally tells them, this is not exactly correct in how I'm saying this, but I know it was something along the lines of where he told Scooter, did you know that one in like 3,000 women have two vaginas,
I remember
and
Oh
and
yeah.
he tells them, if you were to have sex with one of them, would that make it a threesome?
Oh my god.
If you were to just immediately be like, well guys, it's been a great scheme, I will see you never.
One thing
were you a mod then?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I remember that. Cause like I watched like Scooter McGruder before he went and became best friends with the clickbait crew. Like I have so much respect for Scooter McGruder that the fact that, I mean, not only like he has to really put up with, it's nonsense, but like the fact that he's also such a great sport about it too, and has like a genuinely good relationship with all members of the clickbait crew. Like, it is really commendable. But yeah, what the actual fuck? Yep, that's right. That's us talking about March Madness. I don't know. I mean, if you guys have anything to add about March Madness, go for it. I have nothing other than Spencer's wonderful fact that, hey guys, do you know that people schedule vasectomies around this time of year to help them recover, and it's very common.
Remember, folks,
like Spencer,
now's a great time to get your tubes tied.
I want you to literally, I want you to do it specifically when people are having like a thoughtful conversation. I just want you to put your phone, just put it face down. I just want to hear the audio of people. I want to hear the utter silence that happens. I want to hear like a glass cup drop on the floor.
If I had like no shame and I was like God of cringe tier, okay with myself.
You're already there, man. I don't know.
The internet, maybe.
The reaction would be very similar to like that one, the freaking sail when like SpongeBob and Patrick in the Sailor Mouth episode are cursing at the Krusty Krab, and you just see the rest of the people in the restaurant just reacting with stunned silence.
Oh, but Spencer, I want you to do that. It's just gonna be so stupid. It's just gonna be like, I genuinely want to feel the silence in that room.
As everyone just dies of embarrassment by association.
It's not even just embarrassment by association. It's like people are like gonna be talking about how their kid's struggling. What can they do to help them? And then you're like, hey guys, did you know that people schedule vasectomies more around this time of year because they use this time as rest and recovery? Yeah. Just people having
somebody complaining about their kids, and I said, well, I know a remedy for that.
Vasectomy.
Spencer, remind me not to work in the same company as you.
No, I want to. Are you kidding me? I would pay him, bribe him gobs amount of money to say this kind of shit so I can hear it.
Oh my god. If you need somebody gone from your pizza company.
We'd make him say it over the PA system.
No way!
Imagine if it was somewhere, in fucking Walmart. It'd be like, attention all shoppers, did you know that men schedule vasectomy around this type of year, around during the time of March Madness, more than any type of year? Thank you for listening to my TED Talk as you hang up the phone.
If this episode had an actual title that was relevant on the actual conversation, this would be Vasectomy Madness.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
For some reason, that the words foreskin football just went into my mind.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I don't even know what that would look like.
What the fuck, man?
I just know that Jerry Jones would be involved somehow.
Oh my god. For the person a couple years from now who randomly discovers this content, if you're wondering when we lost our minds, just know we never had minds to begin with.
Uh-huh. Just... Oh my god. Oh my god.
Mental poison.
Oh my... I mean, come on. We've heard of brain rot, like... But, like... This is ridiculous, yucca yucca.
I will actively make your train of thought worse.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh. What the fuck?
I'm glad I'm such a valuable part of the fucking podcast.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh.
So what did you do this week?
I've worked, played a lot of Helldivers, you know, for democracy. Democracy, of course. I gotta do my part for democracy, you know? Jesus fucking Christ.
No, I'm talking like people at work would be like, so what did you do this weekend? Oh, you know, I talked about fucking...
We talked about vasectomies. That's what we talked about. Good God. Woo! Anyways, I think that's gonna do it for us today. If you somehow came across this part where we talked about... I'm sorry, I don't know anything about March Madness.
You don't know about
Yes,
vasectomy?
that's how it... Oh god. That's how it leads to vasectomy talk. If you're getting a vasectomy right now, it means two things. You're recovering from March Madness, or you're recovering because you literally had to get it after watching the new Megamind series.
Yeah, I don't want any kids in my DNA seeing that shit.
Movie's so bad, removed self from people.
Oh my god.
Oh.
From now on, I'm gonna claim on my resume that I once talked about getting a vasectomy during March Madness on a podcast.
Sure, I'm sure 3 and 5s would love to have my insight on the dumpster fire.
So this is the fate of the world. We're gonna talk about vasectomies.
Goodness, that's a fucking great idea. What are you talking about? We're gonna talk about vasectomies on the. We're gonna talk about fucking
We're gonna be talking about that time urinating tree wore a male romper.
That guy in a little suit.
A fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah, that guy in a little coat.
Oh god, fucking watch-alongs are gonna be fucking so.
Or the time grenade tree did the nasty of a burger.
Oh. Alright, so thank you guys for coming into our enlightened discussion about March Madness and vasectomies.
That's the meme madness.
I think I have an idea of a video that we're gonna do. I think for every match that I pick, there needs to be one fact about the benefits of vasectomies to men. like just, who's gonna win this game? I picked this team. Hey, did you know?
Did you know that in a month of March,
Oh my fucking god, I think we should do it. Like Sunday, I'm off all day. Well, I have Hollow Fest all day Sunday, but like, Monday, it starts Tuesday. Fuck. I'll have to get my recording done all by Monday. If somebody could just help me finding just a bunch of facts with like, I think it's like what 63 facts about vasectomy. I think that's what that number comes to. We just gonna Google 23.
Luke, don't tell me you're gonna get a vasectomy when the Leafs make the Stanley Cup final.
No,
God, that's a bet now.
I'm not. That's what I'm gonna do. Mastora does his fucking March Madness prediction.
No, you get a vasectomy if the Seahawks take a cornerback.
No. I'm not that brave. I'm brave, but I'm not that brave.
Give us a vasectomy if the Maple Leafs make it past the second round.
No.
I got an idea. No. I got an idea. If the Seahawks... Oh god, I just got an idea. If the Seahawks select Kool-Aid, man, Luke has to recreate the fucking Kool-Aid Family Guy scene.
Fine. Fine. I'll do that.
Yeah, break the fucking wall down and just yells, "Oh yeah!"
Except no. It has to be like Mountain Dew a wall of Mountain Dew Baja Blasts.
You just burst in and to say, "Oh yeah," and then tell a neat fact about vasectomies.
Wait, Luke. If the Seahawks take Kool-Aid McKinstry, you have to go into downtown Vancouver wearing a flame sweater.
No. I'm going to burst through a wall of Mountain Dew or Rockstar Green Apple and drinks and say, "Oh yeah."
It's never gonna happen, but I just want to say, I can just imagine the funniest scenario would would be who goes through the wall of Mountain Dew, and when all the bottles fall, they just fucking explode, and it's just a fucking avalanche of soda.
Okay, I would consider doing that, but I'm renting this apartment and I'm not going to be
Yeah,
doing
I
that.
know. I'm just saying it's never gonna happen, but I just imagine, I just think about that scenario, and it's like, oh god, that'd be fucking hilarious.
It's, but you know, one thing I will do, like genuinely, I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna make Mountain Dew Baja Blast cheesecake. Like I'm going to do it. I just
No,
need it.
that's it. If the Seahawks take McKinstry, you have to make Kool-Aid cheesecake.
No. It'd just be like
Oh
fruit
my
cheesecake. No, it make no sense. Like no, I would do Mountain. It has to be like extremely cursed Mountain Dew Baja Blast cheesecake.
No, invisible Kool-Aid. Do they still make that?
No.
Blue.
But no, I have plans because I have enough raspberry filling to do another one. Like I have enough like filling to make another cheesecake. Just the thing that I would need is confidence, and I would have to see if I would get a baked one, but like I would need a token idiot to make a Mountain Dew Baja Blast cheesecake again to do that one. That I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be extremely cursed and hilarious at the same time.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast, huh? Wait, Luke, if the Seahawks take Kool-Aid McKinstry, you have to drink Kool-Aid mixed with C4.
No, I'm gonna run through a wall of empty Rockstar cans and say, "Oh yeah."
Wait, before that, you got shotgun. You got mix Rockstar with Kool-Aid, then shotgun it before, then drink it before.
No, he says.
No.
He says something like, "Oh yeah."
I'm gonna
Did
run.
you know that? Did you know that by getting a second?
We're gonna, but no, I'm gonna do. I need like help brain planning just the stupid thing I'm gonna do with my March Madness bracket, and it's gonna be Luke predicts, like it's gonna be like a super professional thumbnail, right?
Yeah.
But it's gonna have utter degeneracy.
You know, it's gonna be cool, but you know, it's gonna be like the ultimate sign that we made it when a bunch of like fucking incels are like, is this what SJWs think men should be?
Look at the direct messages.
Oh yeah, take a look at it.
Pulling up to get
Kool-Aid
the
move.
second for March Madness.
There's some Kool-Aid card. That's the first bait I see.
See, there we go.
Can't wait for taking it. Can't wait for Tegan to wake up and just see this and just
See
wonder, what the fuck happened?
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching our smut. We keep in mind we needed to do something dumb, purely based on the principle that Aiden and I never met up, and I had a genius brain rotting plan for it. Like, it was genius brain rot. I was gonna do a bunch of soy boy poses with Aiden, and we're gonna do it various minor nonsensical things in Chilliwack. And it was just gonna be me and him doing soy boy poses for as long as as long as I had Aiden in Chilliwack. So if you could turn your attention to this PowerPoint presentation. I'm kidding. We never met up.
Yeah,
We never met up.
it's too bad you don't just have images of you soy pointing at stuff.
I'll save that for another day. But Not today. Not today. But anyways, next week is going to be our brain rot mock draft picks. And then the start of the football season for the calendar year of 2024. I can't wait. I haven't watched football in so long. I think I'm going crazy.
Well, I mean, we did just spend like 30 minutes talking about vasectomies, so.
Yeah. That is true. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week later.